Hey y'all, I'm sorry they ended the last live because I guess the music I was playing was a violation, so they blocked it and took it down. So I'm gonna let a few people get in here. Let me let y'all know too. I'm so sorry. I know y'all been waiting on me to come up here and tell this little story. Um in Louisiana, we on holiday for Mardi Gras, so the kids out of school till Thursday tomorrow. So they been at home. We've been busy. How y'all doing today? If y'all hear music in the background, it's actually my neighbor. He's sitting outside listening to music. He been jamming though. And Iceland better not kill my vibe. My dog be playing. Iceland, shut up. I'm sorry, y'all, if it's loud. I had to open this door. It's hot in here. I'm in my she shed. Y'all know I always be in here. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hey, Kiwi Boo. Thanks for coming. Thanks for everybody that's in here too. Hold on. Shut up, Iceland. But if y'all want me to start, I can. Okay, first off, I'm only telling this story to bring awareness. Can y'all hear me? Somebody tell me if y'all can hear me first before I get into a whole little. Tell me how I'm sounding. Make sure my volume all the way up. Somebody, anybody. Can y'all hear me, Kiwi? Can y'all hear me? Okay, nobody answering me, so I'm gonna assume y'all can hear me. I might have to close this door again. Okay, I see Lakeisha say doing good. So y'all must can't hear me. Hold on, let me tell this damn dog to shut up one more time, y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on. Iceland. Hush. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Hopefully, it should be quiet for a little while. But like I said, I'm only telling this story to bring awareness to women and their daughters. I know we all get wrapped up into social media and our cell phones when we're out and about, and people are paying attention when you think they're not paying attention. So I always get on my 14-year-old's butt about being all in her phone, especially like when she goes to the mall with her friends and stuff. Just being in your phone heavy with your head down, you don't know who watching you, right? So it's just to bring awareness. I pinned the link, but I'm not gonna be adding anybody until I finish with the story. And then if y'all want to come up, if y'all have similar stories or know of similar stories, y'all can come up and share those. Or if you want to add anything to what I said, you can. So I'll let y'all know when to hit the link. Um, but okay. So there's a little store down the street from my house. It's 400 feet, literally 400 feet from my house. Now, I don't walk down there often. We go to the store probably like 10 to 15 times a day, and I'm always driving. Every blue moon, I will walk down there. Sometimes when my 2 and 3-year-old are outside playing and I'm watching them play, we may stop and walk down to the store, get them some chips or candy or something like that, but I try not to walk down there often. But this particular day, this was a week before Christmas, and it had gotten hot again. It was a Sunday. And so it was really, really warm this day. And so I was in my little she shed, editing my videos and stuff. I was at home by myself. So everybody was gone, all my kids and their dad. Everybody was out the house. It was just me here. So I'm like, oh, cool. I got some time. Like, let me, you know what I'm saying? Sit back, chill, and do my thing. So I'm in here in the she shed, editing my videos and stuff. So I needed to go to the store. So I walk outside and I'm like, oh, it's a pretty day. It's back hot. I'm just gonna walk down there. So I walk down there, get what I need. I'm walking out the store, and me and a guy that was getting in his car caught eyes. I was in my phone, but I looked up because I always make sure to pay attention. Even if I look like I'm not paying attention, trust me, I'm paying attention. Like I'm that type of person. Like I let you not think that I'm on to you while I'm on to you the whole entire time. So when our eyes met, when I looked up at him, his energy gave me like he looked at me like he looked me up and down, but it wasn't like a lustful look. It was more of a she young, she pretty, and she's alone. That's the energy from the look that he gave me that I got. Right? He probably thought I was a lot younger than I actually am. I'm 36. So, I had on a t-shirt and some little, shorts that were tight. So he probably thought I was young. So, anyways, like I said, when we met eyes, he gave me a look like, oh, she young, pretty, and alone. Okay. But I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to see. So I decided to walk very, very slow to my house because I'm like, if you are following me, I don't want you to know where I live or where I'm going to. And I don't want you to know that I'm at home alone. Right. So I start walking and I'm walking so, so slow, y'all. So he leaves out the parking lot and he comes into the neighborhood. So I'm like, well, let me see what he's going to do. Let me see if he's going to leave out the parking lot and just leave and get on, on about his way, or if he's going to turn into my neighborhood and try to follow me, or is he just going to stop and try to holler, right? So I'm walking super duper slow. And he's in the car. I'm walking slow. He was driving slower than I was walking, right? So he was driving extremely slow. So that made me even more on guard, right? And then he didn't just like stop and like try to holler. Like he really was literally behind me driving slow as fuck. I'm telling y'all, I was walking so slow. So he had to have been driving the fucking slowest, okay? To the point where two cars came behind him and was behind him driving slow, and they got aggravated and started to beat their horns. When they started to beat their horns, he saw that someone was behind him. So what he did was he went up a little ways. He went past my house because keep in mind, I didn't walk to my house. I did not want him to know where I live. So he went up a little ways, probably like 3, 4 houses past my house. And he decided to kind of like merge like off the street, like to the right, like in front of somebody else's house. But I knew it wasn't his house because, like I said, I'm very, very observant. So every time I'm driving on my street, of course, I'm going to see a car to the right, in the street. You know what I'm saying? So I'm knowing you don't live there because that car is never there, right? And I also know you're not, you know what I'm saying, like visiting anybody because he never got out the car. So at this point, I stopped. I'm across from my house, but I'm still like, 3 or 4 houses down from my house, but on the opposite side of the street. So I stood in somebody else's driveway and tried to make it look like that could have been my house, right? And I'm still kind of like, messing with my phone, so he'll think like I'm not, paying too much attention to him. But I think at this point he did know like I was paying attention to him because now it's extra weird because you're just sitting there parked and I'm just standing here and I'm looking down there. You looking at me, I'm looking at you. You looking at me, I'm looking at you, and I'm like, okay, how long are we gonna do this, right? So that didn't work. And so he stayed there for a little minute. I tried to make a couple phone calls, like with nobody, really answering. Now, another thing too that bothered me was I didn't have my gun on me, like none of them. Like we had guns in the house. I didn't bring any of them like with me because I didn't think I needed one. And now I'm gonna be very salute Space City. I'm gonna make sure that I keep it with me all the time. And what's crazy is when I go down to this store all the time, of course I see other young dudes walking in the store. They always had a gun tucked under their arm, like where you could see it. And I'm always saying to myself, like, dang, it ain't that serious, like walking into a store, but I never think that ever again. All right, so back to the story. So this guy, he was Hispanic, right? Um, so he was Hispanic. I had never seen him before. Now this little store that I stop at from time to time, it does have like a lot of Hispanics that go to that store like after work and stuff, but it's heavily frequented by all races. So anyway, he was Hispanic. So now we're, looking at each other. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. I don't think he knows how much I'm paying attention to him, but I'm paying attention to him. Eventually a big truck comes down the street. and the big truck that comes down the street, I pass up my house and I go 3 houses down from my house, and I went up their driveway. And when I got up their driveway, I jumped 3 fences to my house. Boop, 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 into my backyard because I knew that I had left my back door unlocked. I have three doors to my house. There's a front door, a side door that's under the carport, and then there's a back door where we have a closed in patio, right? And so those were the doors that I left open because keep in mind I was leaving out my she shed when I walked down into the store. And I knew that it was unlocked. The reason why I walked 3 houses down, like I said, I didn't want him to know where I lived or anything. So I knew once I got in those people yard, like I'm a tomboy. So I grew up with them a boy. So jumping fences is nothing. Like what I'm saying? I go fishing, like horseback riding, like I'm a tomboy, so it wasn't no issue. I knew I was gonna be able to jump the fences, and I also knew that he wasn't gonna be able to see what I was doing and what house I ended up at. So what I did was, like I said, walked 3 houses down from my house, walked up their driveway. I jumped 3 fences to my backyard, and then I got to my house, went inside my house through the back door, went and got my gun and stuff. And so now I'm like, well, let me see. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he trying to do now? Right? So I go to my front door. Now around my front door is like a little mini garden, like with, a few little bushes or whatever. Um, and if I peek my head out, you can't necessarily like see me from the side of the street that he was on because the bushes would be blocking him, him from seeing me. But I could see him. So, I got the gun in my hand and everything, I didn't open the door. And so now, because I'm like, well, let me see if he saw what house I went into or like what he trying to do now, right? So I look out there. When I look out there, he has gotten out of his car and he is looking for me. He then went up the driveway that he saw me go up, but he couldn't find me, right? And I'm looking at him. Now, the one thing I didn't do that I wish I would have done was take a picture of his license plate because I had my phone in my hand, so I don't even know why I didn't think to take a picture of his license plate. And my brother, his dumb self was like, you should have just called me out and came over there. He like, you should have just shot him from the door. And I'm like, nah. But it was definitely a crazy little story and a crazy little experience because it made me think like, what were you gonna try to do to me? Like, were you gonna try to R-word me, or were you gonna try to kidnap me? Like, what would? Because it was something, like it was something, and I don't know what it was, but like I said, had I not been paying attention to my surroundings and what was going on, it could have went a totally different way. It was only that I was paying attention to what he had going on and what he was doing that I was able to skate past this situation. So, like I said, let me see, payday and shit and salute for talking about it with a certain topic to speak about because it's real. It is, and I didn't even tell my mama y'all because my mama called me all the time like, "Oh, are you out late? Like, where you at? This sex trafficking and human trafficking is real. Like, you need to be careful. Like, they are out here trying. And I always be like, Mama, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? I be paying attention. I'm good. I'm good. I didn't even tell her. Like, she still to this day don't know. I wouldn't tell her because it'll just drive her crazy. Um, like I said, if I wasn't paying attention, it would have definitely went a different way. And it was definitely an eye opener for my daughter too, because like I said, I always tell her, and it's all good, Lisa plus three. It's all good. You good, girl. But I always tell her about paying attention, especially like in these around a whole bunch of people. Like I said, when she goes to the mall with her little friends, like they like to people who do these type of things like to hang out in areas where there's young girls with not that much supervision. And like I said, I really think he thought I was young. He didn't think I was 36. He did not think I was 36. He thought I was young. He saw that I was alone and he was trying to figure out what he was going to do. And it was a crime of opportunity. So it was not planned. So that was another thing that kind of saved me because, like I said, when me and him caught eye contact, it was me reading his energy and feeling like, hold on, like I need to watch you and keep my eye on you. So being that I feel like it was a crime of opportunity, he hadn't had it planned out. So it took me, paying attention. You know what I mean? And he didn't have time to plan because I was already planning. You know what I'm saying? Like I already had in my head, like, oh no. Like you thinking I'm young, you thinking I'm not paying attention to you, but I'm paying attention to you for sure. It's getting crazy out here. A Hispanic too. Yes, he was Hispanic. He was. And he was a young guy. Like he wasn't an older Hispanic guy. He looked like he probably was in his late 20s. Honestly, he was like in a small, little car, like a little Honda, um, white, older model car. He only had on like a white t-shirt. Like I said, he didn't have it planned out. And I saw him when I was in the store, but we didn't pay too much attention to each other. It kind of was like in passing. I didn't really look at him and he didn't really look at me. It wasn't until we were outside. And like I said, when me and him met eyes, I could just feel that he was about to try something. Like when he sat in his car and he saw me, and I think he kind of was like, and then I guess when he saw me walk past the store, like, oh, she's not in the car yet. She probably is young, but no, I'm not, and I have multiple cars. Okay. We had two in the driveway this day. Let's see. Salute to you, Queen. If they wants to come show you love and support, just subscribe with the bell on as well. Shout out to iPhone Gavin. Thank you for subscribing. Like I said, I did pin the link. Do y'all see the link? If y'all do, if anybody want to call in, share a similar experience or comment on the experience I just shared, y'all can call in. If not, we'll just rock out and have a conversation. It's up to you guys. Like I said, I do apologize for waiting so long to give y'all this story. I was actually supposed to been tell y'all. I wasn't gonna put it on my channel at first, but everybody that I did tell outside of YouTube, which it wasn't too many people, they were all like, "You need to share it because people need to know to like really pay attention, and it's going on a lot and often." And so, I did want to share that story with you guys for sure. So y'all make sure y'all telling y'all daughters the same thing. Like it's a lot going on. Y'all know that it's a lot of grown men that act like kids on the internet and they reach out to girls, like acting like they're 19 and or not 19, I'm sorry, acting like they're 14, 15, 13, but they're actually grown men. You know what I mean? So y'all make sure y'all going through those cell phones. If you pay for it, you better be going through it, okay? Because I go through mine. I go through my 14-year-old cell phone all the time, and her location with me at all times. Like I can always see where her phone is at all times. If you have a daughter and you don't have that like that, you definitely need to, because when my daughter go places, I like to check behind her. Like, let me see if you at where you say you at, or anything could happen, and I could check her location and she could be anywhere, So I check her location all the time when she's not around me. Um, and women, if y'all single, make sure y'all share y'all location with somebody that y'all trust. It's always good to have somebody, knowing what's going on with you. Even with my sisters when they go out of town, and they going with somebody, they're gonna send me all the information of the person they going with, the hotel room that they staying in, and they flight information and stuff like that. Just so like especially if they're meeting someone out there, especially like a guy or something, like they're gonna tell me like, no, this is who I'm going with, this is where he live, blah blah blah. So y'all make sure if y'all are not doing that, I'm sorry, y'all, it was a big ass mosquito. If y'all are not doing that amongst your friends, y'all need to start for sure. For sure, for sure. Family members, whoever you trust. Let me see how long I've been on here. Oh, it's been short. But yes, I know it's a whole bunch of other crazy stuff going on the internet right now, but I'll start a whole nother live for that. I wanted this live to strictly be about this, so that if anybody, hey Texas 713, what's up? You can hit the link. I don't know if you was here for the story, but you can hit the link. Or if anybody else wants to, y'all can. But yeah, like I said, y'all make sure y'all paying attention to y'all surroundings. For sure, because they are preying on women out here. I'm talking about what's up, big head. Hey, Kiwi girl, you going live today or not? I saw you was live last night for a while. I caught some of it. I'm still here, y'all. I just turned the camera off for a little bit. But yeah, y'all. Oh, and what's also crazy is I don't know if y'all heard about the Madison Brooks story, but it was an LSU college student, and she went out with some friends, and she got really intoxicated, and I don't know how or why it happened, but she ended up leaving the bar by herself, and um I guess she got into like a ride share with some guys, and it was like four dudes and her. She didn't know them, but they R-word her, and they dropped her off like literally down the street from my house. Like it wasn't 5 minutes, really, literally, in the middle of the street, and the girl ended up getting run over. It was a very sad situation. She was taken advantage of. Like I said, she was intoxicated. um I don't know all of the details on why she chose to get in the car with them. Like I said, I think she was under the impression that it was like a ride share or her lift or whatever, and they decided to do some other stuff, and after they did that, they ended up just dropping her off, like I said, in the middle of a busy highway, and she was run over. Yes. Texas 713 says that's why in Texas, for people buying sex is a felony because the sex trafficking is at an all-time high. It really, really is. Like, y'all, it's horrible right now. It's horrible. Yes, Space Daddy. It was a crazy situation. She was so young and beautiful too. I feel so heartbroken for her parents. It's already one of the scariest things to send your child off to college. Now her mom does live in Louisiana, but I want to say she lives in New Orleans. She doesn't live in Baton Rouge, but she does live in Louisiana. But it's one of the hardest things to send your kids off to college and stuff, especially your daughter. And her probably thinking, oh, it's LSU, she'll be fine. And then, she goes out to have fun with her friends and ends up getting R-worded and hit by a car. It was really a tragic story. Then another situation happened a week after that. Now, what's crazy is these three situations happened like around the same time. Like when this incident happened with me, like I said, it was a week before Christmas. And then the stuff with Madison Brooks happened shortly after that. And then right after that, me and my mom don't live far from each other. She lives like on the street called Burbank. Burbank is she lives off of Burbank. But the Burbank is the street that Madison Brooks was dropped off on and hit by the car. Right. So when I leave out my neighborhood, I ain't gonna give out too many details. Let me chill on it. She don't live far from me. My mom don't live far from me. So I was driving to my mom's house, and I saw a lady laying in the middle of the street, and she looked lifeless, right? Black lady. And so I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? Because she was laying in the street, y'all. What's crazy is they had police officers out there, and then they had a few other civilians, but nobody was rendering help. She literally was just laying on the ground, like not moving. Um, they weren't trying to give her CPR or anything, to the point where when I finally did get to my mom's house, because I was going over there to drop off my two youngest kids. When I got there, I was like, what happened on Burbank? And she was like, what you mean? And I was like, when I just passed, it was a lady like laying in the middle of the street motionless. Like, I don't know if she passed away or not. And so she was like, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. So I ended up getting the alert like shortly after that. And this lady, she was homeless, but she got ran over by a car. But she was living at the hospital. She died at the hospital. So I'm wondering, like, why did y'all have this lady just laying in the middle of the street, like not rendering help? Like she just literally was just laying there. Like, I don't know, that was crazy. What is a real ride share, or that's how they got her to get in? Um, you know what? I have Madison Brooks stuff. Let me hold on. I'm about to tell you. I can read you the give me a second. I can read you the news clip so y'all can hear what I know about it. Hold on, let me get to it. The same, but they always change. I'm not going through some things. I told y'all my neighbor over there jamming, y'all. That ain't my music. That's his music. All right. Let's see, Madison Brooks. All right. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna pull up the ones I have because the ones I have are like broken up. So I'm just gonna pull up an actual one. I actually reached out to her mom to see if she wanted to join me on this live. She wasn't ready, y'all. She wasn't ready. She encouraged me to tell, my story and to bring awareness, but she wasn't ready. I can't see the chat right now either, y'all. But I'm looking up the news article for y'all. I wonder if it'll let me play this video on this live stream. It might cut it off. So this one is just talking about one of them was a juvenile also, y'all. So they didn't release his name because he was a whole juvenile. And to answer your question, I think they were, I can't remember if they were lying or not. Because they might have said that one driver was a Uber driver, but he wasn't her Uber driver. Yes, Lisa plus three. We do have to be watchful. Like I said, especially with y'all's daughters, like y'all make sure y'all pay attention to what they have going on because this internet is so wide open and we can't protect them from it all. Like there has been a whole bunch of cases down here where girls have been talking to somebody online through social media and they were thinking that they were talking to somebody their age, and then that person encourages them or talks them into like sneaking out their window to meet up with them. Like it's at least about 3 or 4 cases for sure that I know of that happened where they snuck out the window and then they mom wake up the next day and they gone, they don't know where they kid is. Yes. All right, this look like it's gonna be a good article. I'm gonna read y'all this one. Hey Max, you made it. It's my fault, Max. I was probably supposed to let you know I was about to start it. It's my fault. So this police report says police in Baton Rouge this week arrested 4 people in connection with the alleged R word of a 19-year-old Louisiana State University student who was taken out when a car struck her on a roadway earlier this month. According to you just gonna start playing. I ain't asked you to play. Uh-uh, it says, according to the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, Madison Brooks was R word before she was dropped off at a subdivision and hit and killed, unalived, by a car in the early morning hours of January 16th. The 4 individuals turned themselves in to the sheriff's office Monday, and 3 were booked into the parish prison on warrants. A sheriff's office spokesperson told CNN a 17-year-old was also booked into juvenile detention, said the spokesperson. The 17-year-old juvenile who is not named and 18-year-old Kavion DeAndre Washington are accused of third degree R word. Casing John Carver, 18, and Everett Lee, 28, who is Washington's uncle, are charged with being principals to the alleged crime, according to the affidavits. Let's see what else this is. In a statement provided to the Advocate newspaper, Carver's defense attorney Joe Long said, in part, when all the evidence is known, everyone will see this was not a crime. How? Absolutely not a R word. Listen, this is a tragedy. Yeah, they lying. It definitely was a R word that happened. But basically, the logistics of that case is, like I said, she was really, really intoxicated. She left out the club. She did end up in a car with four guys. Somewhere along the way, they decided to R word her. It was two of the guys for sure, two or three, and one of them was a juvenile. After they finished, like I said, they dropped her off on a busy highway. Burbank is a very, very busy highway, and people get hit on that street all the time. And so she was so intoxicated because they said that her blood alcohol level was 4 times the legal limit. So she was like out of there, out of there. And so of course she couldn't walk. So when they dropped off and left, yeah, she was ran over by a few vehicles. And I guess now what the guys were trying to say is that they're trying to say that they didn't cause her to be unalived. Like, okay, well, we dropped her off, so she wasn't in our position anymore. So basically, the lawyer on Madison Brooks' defense is basically saying, had you never dropped her off on the street, she would have never been unalive, basically. Yes, Max, listen. It be a lot going on. It really do. Lisa plus three say rest area has gotten bad. All areas have gotten bad, y'all. Like for real, it's bad. And like I said, they'll talk them into like leaving out the window or some shit, thinking that they about to go meet up with a boy that's their age, and it's not. Um, it be all kind of crazy stuff going on. Like I know this little black girl who that happened to, and she ended up getting in the car with a Caucasian guy, but the guy that she was talking to on the internet was supposed to be a young black guy. So I don't even know why she would even hop up in the car with that man. But I think once it all came out, she basically said like once he got her outside, he basically grabbed her up, put her in the car, took her cell phone and threw the cell phone because they were tracking the cell phone, and that's how they was trying to keep up with their movements. And he got on like a long stretch and just threw it off the side of the road so they ain't know, where she was. It took like 3 days for her to be found. Then when she was found, like it was crazy. Like she was found like in the room, like locked up with him on some stuff, and they had found out like he had been doing it, like that she wasn't the first victim. Like he had been doing it to a few other girls. Then y'all, this so crazy because a guy I went to school with, right? Nah, let me see, he may be like 2 or 3 years older than me, maybe two. And he didn't like got arrested for R wording like at least 3 or 4 times. And his people got money and they always like pay for him to like get out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? But the first time he got caught up was he had became a PE teacher at a middle school, and um he ended up like messing with one of the teenagers, right? And like they were like carrying on this like real relationship. It ended up coming out, I forgot how or why. I think the girl mom found out, and so she exposed it. And so it was crazy, and at this time we didn't know, you know what I'm saying, like this was in him to do, like this was the first incident. And so all of us was kind of like, damn, like what the hell is wrong with this nigga? Like, like when you grow up with somebody, you feel like you know them. You don't think like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So it was crazy. Then he got out of there quick. Like he didn't stay in there long at all. But he got out, and then that second time, girl, he ended up leaving a girl in a drainage ditch. Literally. It was some girl he was messing with. She was like 15 or 16 years old. And I don't know. I don't know exactly how it happened, but from what I know and from what I read, this was a few years back. He drug her, down by the drainage ditch, and he R-worded her and left her there for dead. Like, they didn't think that she was really gonna survive. Like, I think everybody was surprised that she was, like, you know what I'm saying, still living or whatever. Because when they got there, she was still in the drainage ditch. Like, it was a really bad situation. And he didn't got caught up a couple times after that. And I saw him recently, y'all. I saw him at the Mall of Louisiana, y'all. And it was me and my daughter and my stepdaughter together. And we shopping. And he walked up to me. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? Whatever. He give me a hug, all right, cool, whatever. But I'm thinking in my head, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So he like, oh, like, maybe we should, get some dinner sometime. I'm like, for what? For what? So, I'm like, nah, I'm about to get married. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. He was like, oh no, it ain't like that. And I started to say, I know, because I'm too old for you, huh? Nah. But at the time, like, all I'm thinking is, like, are you saying, like, I don't know, because my daughters was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, that was weird. And like I said, we grew up with him, so we see him. Like, so I was talking to my brother about it, and so he was like, man, that nigga weird because um it's the way he think about it. And I'm like, well, what you mean? And he was like, well, he think that if you have your cycle that you're a woman. And so when he look at these little girls, like, he's actually said to my brother, like, because he was like, man, that nigga sick. Like, we'll be sitting outside the store and he'll be like, ooh, look at that. I'm thinking he's talking about a grown ass woman. I look over there, it's a kid. And I'm like, nah, Cliff, you should punch him in his face. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that did it. You know what I'm saying? That did it. Like, I don't know. But yeah, in his sick, twisted mind, he really literally thinks if you have a cycle, you're a woman. So let's think about how many men and pedophiles think like that. Like, there's some real sick individuals out here that really think like this, for real, for real. Y'all, that's my door. This she shed door. But yeah, it's sick. I don't trust people because it has changed. It has. And I don't do all of that. My daughter going and spend the night at people's house. Even my son, when he get old enough, he just 3 right now. But you just have to protect your kids from all kind of stuff. For real, for real. You gotta protect your daughters from other people's brothers and even their friends. You have to protect your son from other people's daughters. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll try to accuse you of certain things, you know, sometimes not even true. Like, you just have to protect yourself, for real, for real. And so I thought, like, it's just time for us women to, like, make it a priority to protect ourselves and our daughters. And like I always tell my daughter, you don't want to wait until something actually happens to be worried about something, because you can't take that experience away. Once it's to happen, this can happen. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you could do is try to avoid any of this from happening. Like, you don't want it to happen, because if it happened, you can't take that experience back. Like, it's forever. You do, Max. I talk about this all the time. I do. I talk about this all the time. No, I am not my kids' friends, but I am very close to my kids, and I have an open relationship, open dialogue. And I always make sure I let my kids know. Like, I tell my daughter all the time, I can't be mad about how you feel. So never be scared to tell me how you feel. Like, a feeling, you can't be mad at how somebody feel. If you feel that way, then you feel that way. So I always encourage her, man, tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be mad at you because you feel a way. So me and her relationship is, you know what I'm saying, really, really open. She does tell me a lot. I'm sure she's a teenager, so I'm sure she does not tell me everything. I ain't a fool. But like, she does talk to me about a lot, and I'm grateful for that. So y'all have that conversation with y'all kids, y'all sons, and y'all daughter. Like, you can't be mad about how a kid feels. You have to let a kid feel how they feel. You know what I mean? Now, I could be mad about something that you do, but not how we feel. No. Yeah, Shika, that's true. You cannot trust nobody, including family. And that's a story for another day. I don't even wanna I might share that story later. But yeah. Let my kids know ain't no friends, y'all each other friend, but them kids y'all play with is just that kids y'all play with. Period. And I always tell them to always have each other back. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm strong on that. I'm strong on it. We was always taught like y'all stick together. Y'all can fight up in here, but when you out there in them streets, you don't let nobody touch your family. You don't let you know what I'm saying. You don't never show that there's a problem. Like, sure, me and my brother could be beefed out. You'll never know it. Me and my sister, you'll never know it. Like, you don't do that. So I always tell them that. And then another little situation too. Um, this one time it was my daughter and my stepdaughter, and they were walking down the street, and they came back in the house like all scared and spooked. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with y'all? And so they was like, well, we had went down there to the store, and I don't know, some other guy. So basically, it was a guy watching them, right? And I guess they didn't see the guy watching them. But another black guy did, and he was a younger black guy. He opened up the door and said, hey, y'all, watch that man in that car because I see him all the time. He always be looking at little girls, and he been looking at y'all since y'all came down here. And so they was spooked and came home and just was kind of like, well, we don't know. He could have been trying to do us something too. So they was like, sure, it could have been him. He could have been telling us to watch somebody else, and we needed to watch him. And I'm like, that's why y'all boys need to stay up in this dang on house. I drive y'all wherever y'all go. Ain't nobody walking nowhere around here no more. Okay. It was fun, but that shit did. It's too much. It's too much. Yes, ma'am. For real. And I'm careful about who I let my daughter hang with. I always tell her, your friends and the people you're with, they're a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying? Um, they are. So you make sure whoever you friends with represent you and represent you right, and y'all into the same things. Like, can't be friends with people who ain't into the same things you into. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to preach to her to be a leader because, you know, be falling behind these nothing ass little girls ain't got no sense in their goddamn head. I'm instilling some shit in you, so you better use your damn mind. This is a discussion that we can discuss though. What do y'all think is the appropriate age to let y'all daughter start dating? And then I'll tell y'all my answer too. Period, Max. Period. So if they in the shit you ain't into, then baby, them ain't your friends. Like them ain't type of friends you need to be around and hang around. You got to be a leader. So I always tell her, like, don't follow behind nobody. You always make sure you're leading in the situation. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, y'all, I'm not okay with this. Or, hey, y'all, I don't want to do that. I don't think that's cool. And so I always try to instill that in her because I've always been that type of person. I was never a follower or get along type of person. Like, no. Like if I'm not comfortable with something, I'm the type of person to be like, nah, I'm not comfortable with that. Like I ain't never too pressed to do or get into nothing. Like, nah. Okay, Max say they gonna do it when they want, but 16, 17 is good. Okay, so um my thoughts on it is so my daughter is 14, right? And she has a little boyfriend. It ain't nothing serious or whatever. They just, started. So, and I had to have a conversation with my sister because I'm like, oh my God. And it was weird for me because it was weird for me because see, my mama was really, really strict. You know what I'm saying? Let me take that back. She wasn't really, really strict because I had freedom, but she was not like one of those ones to be like understanding. Like, if I be like, well, ma, I got a crush on a little boy, she gonna be like, you only had no crush on no goddamn little boy. You better stick to them goddamn books. Only thing need to be in your goddamn mind is them fucking books. And I'm like, God damn, can't have no conversation with her ass. Like, damn, can I be normal? Like my mama used to make normal shit sound horrible, bro. Like you ask her to go somewhere, she swear you about to try to go fornicate. Like, no, bro, we just trying to go to the state fair. Like she was one of them. So that's another reason why I'm so I try to be so open in dialogue with my daughter because I don't want her to feel like she can't talk to me about certain things, especially if it's normal shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, those older mamas, like they be thinking, they be feeling like that shit ain't normal. Like, no, you ain't supposed to be dating nobody. Like, what? Like, let's be serious. Let me see if some parents really knew what some kids going through in and outside the homes until it caused me tad bit of PTSD until I had to bow out from my job and daycare slash after school. Yes, it can be a lot. And kids are very emotional, y'all. Like they emotions be all over the freaking place. All over the place. If people only knew, hey, until it caused me PTSD. But yeah, I'll tell y'all another story too. It's about a little girl that I know. And she tried to commit suicide a couple times. And she's so pretty, y'all. Like if y'all see her, she's so pretty. Asian and black, beautiful hair, pretty. And I guess from just like people saying crazy stuff about her, like at school and like being mean, it took a toll on her to the point where, she felt she had to do that. Like I said, kids are very emotional and they oftentimes don't have control of their emotions. So, they'll internalize a lot of different things. Like I feel like she internal, and I was about to say that, Max, I'm about to get to that. I feel like she internalized a lot of stuff, but not really just say like what's going on. But I had to tell her like, girl, it's because you know what I'm saying, you pretty and you got it going on. Like, don't let them hate on you to the point where you think something is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? And because that's what people try to do, out of jealousy, because your hair longer, you prettier, your eyes slanted, your eyes a different color. Like it takes nothing. Like people be jealous about the craziest shit. They really do. And so I was just telling her, like, don't listen to all that. Like, all that's jealousy. They just trying to tear you down because they don't feel like they equal or amount up to you. But like I said, you got to be open with your kids because that's a conversation that they have to be comfortable having with you. And I feel like if she was comfortable having it with her parent, then she would have. You know what I'm saying? So it's a reason why she didn't, for whatever reason. So y'all make sure y'all stand open with these kids, man, because they have a mind of their own. They have feelings of their own. Shut the hell up, though. For real, for real. But back to the whole dating thing. Like I said, when she, usually tell me about everything. And so she was kind of like, she's talking about the little boyfriend or whatever. And I met him. I met his mom. So what ended up happening was I sat down with his mom. I sat down with him. I got to know him. I got to know his mom. Me and his mom were in, good communication with each other. Like she called me, I called her. She texts me, I text her type thing. And we have let them do certain things together. Like he came to her birthday party. I threw her birthday party a couple weeks ago. And so he came, like his mom dropped him off to the birthday party. And so, like, we'll take them to go places. Like, either I'll do it or she'll do it. You know what I mean? And we'll let them, spend a little time together and stuff. But he's a pretty cool dude. Like he real laid back. He seemed like he just all about his sports, and he treat her nice. Like the first time, cause see, the first time they went somewhere, we met up. That second time they came, to my house and picked her up. His mom did. And so when I was looking outside, watching her get in the vehicle, he had already got out the car, opened the door for her, you know what I'm saying? Gave her a little hug, let her sit in the car, closed the door, walked around to his side, waved at me, gave me a hug, and then, got in the car, whatever. So I like him. So I don't feel like it's too much at this age yet, I just feel like it has to be certain restrictions. Like I said, we try to still monitor, like, how long they stand on the phone, how long, you know what I'm saying? And, when they beating up and stuff like that. So they only meet up when we know about it. Put it like that. Yup. Because at first I was like, I don't know. Like I said, I ain't had that experience with my mama. So I was like, shit, I don't know if it's a good age or not. Because shit, I probably was pregnant by the time my mama accepted her relationship. I'm just playing. It wasn't that long, but she did that bad. She wanted to try to choose my boyfriends. That was another thing. She used to want to choose my boyfriends, and I was never into the one she chose, Lord. But yes, I've been on here for like 50 minutes. I hope y'all enjoyed the discussion. Like I said, I'm sorry for waiting so long to give y'all the story. I know y'all have been waiting. Um, but yeah, that's it for this one. I don't want to bring this one into another live stream because, based on the title, somebody might want to click, and just hear this story about this. So I don't really want to talk about, too much other stuff. Hold on, let me see. Penny Lightman. Chill the fuck out. You couldn't look GG. Bitch, pussy off your back. Bitch, you heavy on the block. Don't stop her. Support her. Bitch. Huh? What's going on? Step mama, big stepper with on your back. It's she's like panty liner. What panty liner is? Oh Lord, for real, girl, boom. I mean, you could have hit the link, boo. You or any one of your little squad members. I think it probably was earlier in the chat. I did see some of her gang up in here, which I ain't got no problem with your little squad, baby. No problem with your little squad. I said what I said. I felt how I felt. That was it. Once I leave some shit, I leave some shit alone. I ain't got time to be carrying shit on and shit. I be having too much to do. I be having too much shit to get done. Like, baby, I can't stop her from doing a motherfucking thing. Obviously, she dragged shit on for 6 fucking months. Ain't nobody stopping her. Can't nobody. She can't stop her. Her brain can't stop her. But y'all came over here in this little chat trying to get me to talk about them and try to say something. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want because don't come the fuck over here trying to provoke me. That's on period. It's the ugly one too. What a pretty ones be? Because I don't see what pretty one. And my thing is this: why y'all leader trying to make it seem like, and then it's a few of y'all bitches who haven't said something to her about, and y'all won't say nothing back. But y'all think y'all sleek. Y'all be trying to make it seem like y'all won't say nothing back because, I'm not gonna give it the time. I'm not gonna give her the attention. Nah, you won't say nothing back because bitch ain't got no dirt on me. Keep it G. Keep it all the way G. You just ain't got no dirt on me. If you had one motherfucking thing you could say, you be saying it, bitch. Trust me, you be saying it. You just don't have nothing. Hey, trust me, if she had any type of dirt, she'll be trying. But baby, I keep telling you, it's impossible to get dirt because I'm a stand in everything I say or do. So next. And you ain't gonna better ever stop me from saying anything. So you can see, be like, I don't give her this, I don't give her that time and that attention, baby. You don't have to. I have never been attention deprived. Ever. Like for real, for real. But yes, 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 yes. Nah, all she could do is holler, hoarsely, hoarsely holler. Like the hell, bitch. They got you. They got you talking about you need to take a break. The crazy part about taking a break is you don't need to take a break from YouTube, baby. You need to take a break from you. You need to take a break for yourself and from yourself. Okay? Nobody else should make you want to take a break. You should want to take one on your own. You should be very tired. You should be wore the fuck out. Like, I don't know. I don't be having enough space in my head to worry about motherfuckers that much. I'm just keeping it G. I don't. I don't. Like I said, I'm gonna say what I say and I'm gonna keep it moving. It ain't gonna be no 2, 3, 4, 5 lives. Nah. You got something to say back, you say what you gotta say back. I'll respond accordingly. That bitch the devil they played the clip of her reading the Bible. Bro, a mess. A mess. She didn't let this shit drive her crazy. She really had like she didn't really let this shit drive her crazy. Like for real, for real. I don't think she been on her meds since she been doing this shit. She knows she on them allegedly on them antidepressants. Let me stop playing, y'all. That's my opinion. I ain't never heard that girl was on antidepressants. So that's why I said allegedly. That's my opinion. I don't know that. I don't. I ain't gonna put no jacket on nobody now. I ain't gonna do that. I know a lot of people like to do that. I ain't gonna put no jacket on nobody. If I tell you, if I say some shit about you, then it's gonna be true. It's gonna be my true feelings. But it looked like earlier in the comments they was being supportive. So I don't know. Didn't Mink oh yeah, she did. Wow, great topic, very sad story. So at least her comment wasn't bad. So I'm gonna take it light on you, boo. Let me leave you alone, girl. Matter of fact, come on, let me see. Let me find your comment, girl. I'm gonna put you up on the screen, girl. Give you some time. Give you some shine, girl. Oh, ain't nobody erased shit, did it? Oh, okay, here you go. There you go, girl. There you go. Yeah, yeah, y'all. You know me, I try not to do all messy shit. Like I try to still have my lives where I'm talking about other stuff. Like I know y'all get tired of hearing the bullshit because I do. And sometimes I be having to take my energy back, y'all. Like real talk. Like I ain't gonna lie. It had started draining my energy the last few days with all this shit. Shit. On period. On period. But yeah, I'm about to like I said, I'm about to start going live more. Hey DJ. Wait, it's me talking about fuck them breast cancer awareness head ass. Ooh, she said I'm tired of seeing the bitches on the coat. In real life. In real life. DJ, what up, nigga? Where you been? Where you been? Very well. Tomorrow, y'all, I'm probably gonna set up a live. We're gonna talk about NBA young boy and Fredo Bang. DJ Musty Bob. Don't do DJ Mix. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about Fredo Bang and NBA Youngboy. I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about the beef and how it started, and we're gonna talk about how because Fredo Bang came out recently saying that the government stopped him and NBA Youngboy from squashing their beef. And so I want to have a discussion about that. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Let's talk about it. You going live next? Thank you, Lisa plus three. Thank you for coming. Come again, girl. I'm gonna try to always have some other lives like you know, I don't do the messy shit a whole bunch. So we're gonna have some stuff we're gonna be talking about over here, especially right now, y'all, because femicide is real. Like the odds are stacked against us in so many different ways, bro. From the human trafficking and the sex trafficking, but between our health and everything that attack black women, like it's real out here for us. Like we got it the hardest and the roughest. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. It makes me cut up. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all for coming through to the live. I might go live later tonight and just like kick it and chill with y'all. If I have a good subject for us to talk about, I ain't one of the ones that just sit on live rambling for like no long time. So I'm going ahead and end this one. Y'all have a wonderful, beautiful night. I hope that if you were meant to see this live, that you did. And I hope that everybody could take something away from it. Like I said, it was just for awareness. And to just put it on everybody's mind, because it be on our mind, but then we'll kind of like let it go. Like I said, we get so wrapped up in our lives, we get so wrapped up into YouTube, social media, our calls and our texts and all that. You know what I'm saying? We pay attention to all that. And so hopefully this is a reminder to pay attention to your surroundings, y'all. Protect yourself, protect y'all kids. Y'all have a great night. Megs, I'm not about to play with you, girl.